And as it turned out, in 2005, his 80th birthday, I was fortunate and I feel blessed that I was able to give Aarti to Baba. And what a contradiction. On one side, he doesn't even give me an interview, doesn't even see me. And on the other side, he allows me to give Aarti to him. And that is Swami to all of you. You cannot comprehend Swami. It's very difficult to comprehend Swami. And not only me, my wife, Shailaja, she didn't believe in Baba before we got married. And I remember in 2005, I got married in 2004. We were not able to meet Baba, as I told. We took darshan, but we were not able to meet Baba. And in 2005, Baba gave her an interview. I don't know what Baba spoke to her, but she has transformed and is probably more staunch a devotee than me of Baba. And Baba continuously communicates to her, continuously communicates through her, through his spirit. An example to that was Baba asked Shailaja to come here because she was very, very clear that Baba has to name my son. And for almost 3 days, we had to wait where Baba didn't even call. But she was very adamant that Baba should name our son. And on the third day, in the evening, Baba called both of us into the interview room, took my son in his lap, even though my son was crying seeing Baba, took my son into his lap and named him Sarvajit. And I cannot explain the kind of satisfaction, the kind of joy my wife had on that particular evening. And 1.5 years later, again when my daughter was born, again Baba blessed her and named her Achintya. And that's how Baba used to communicate to my wife. Even in 2011, I was still suffering with my back pain. After the South Africa series in 2010-11, I went to Kerala to take some treatment for my back. Baba came in the dream of Shailaja and told her, "When are you coming to Puttaparthi?" And immediately we decided, and on our wedding day, which is February 15th, both of us, along with our kids, were in Puttaparthi. And as it turned out, that was the last darshan we had of Baba. And since then, many people have asked, "Do you miss Baba?" I tell, yes, I miss Baba. Because when I used to sit, since 2005, he has changed my mindset. Because since 2005, whenever I used to come and sit here, I never craved for anything. I'll be very honest, before 2005, I used to crave a lot of things, and I wished and prayed that Baba fulfill my cravings. But since 2005, I didn't do that. All I used to do is come and just watch his face. And I cannot explain to you in words the kind of joy, the kind of satisfaction, the kind of feeling I used to get in my heart, just watching the love Baba used to pour on each of his devotees. And that, for me, was the fulfillment of my journey to Puttaparthi or Whitefield. But 2011, when Baba passed away, I still get that same kind of feeling. He is still existing in his spirit. He is omnipresent, he is omnipotent, and he is omniscient. And I can tell you from the experiences of myself, my family, my neighbors. I would like to even share their story. They are staunch devotees of Baba. His name is Shankar Narayan Planjari, and his wife, auntie, is known as Rajalakshmi Planjari, who were in Chicago. Then they were in Korea, and Baba called them back to India. He left all his business, all his work, came back, and all he does is philanthropy. And both this wonderful couple, they were grandchildren to my kids. We stay in an apartment in Srinagar colony in Hyderabad, where the first floor of that apartment, there's a Sai Mandir. Every Thursday morning and evening there are bhajans. Every Thursday morning there's Nagar Sankirtana. Baba used to come and stay in that house, which was donated to the Sai Trust, and the apartment was constructed where all the devotees of Sai stay there. And we are fortunate that we stay in the 4th floor, and uncle and auntie also stay in the 4th floor. Unfortunately, in 2013, first auntie was diagnosed with breast cancer. And 3 months after that, uncle was diagnosed with a cancer in his stomach, and his entire stomach was removed. Auntie was being treated for breast cancer. But when they went to a couple of eminent oncologists in Hyderabad, both the doctors didn't give them a chance to live for more than 2 or 3 months. They felt that auntie was 3rd stage and uncle was in the final stage. But they are still there. They do their puja every day morning. They do their puja every day evening. They travel all over the world. They are regular visitors to Puttaparthi. And in their house, in their flat, in their apartment, wherever you go, there is only Swami's photograph. And since 2013, every day, from 2 or 3 photographs, there is continuous downpour of vibhuti. Now, how do you comprehend that? Because my father happens to be their family doctor. And my father uses these 2 cases as a case study, saying that while your medical health can treat you, while there is so much of advancement in medical health, but there is something bigger or more prominent than medical health, and that is spirituality. And these 2 cases are clear examples of how Baba has influenced, how Baba has blessed, how Baba takes care of all his devotees. So I am very fortunate, I am very blessed that today Baba has given me an opportunity to share my experiences with Swami. And this is to the youth of not India, but youth of 69 countries. And since morning, all the eminent speakers, all of them were so inspirational. In fact, it was so inspiring to me listening to all of them. And all of them are messengers of Swami. All of you are messengers of Swami. I'll just conclude by saying what I learned from Swami. It's written here: help ever, hurt never. Love all, serve all. And while it's not written anywhere, there's one more thing Swami told to me. Be good, do good, good will happen to you. And all these 3 are so simple. It is very simple, isn't it? It's so easy to help. Whoever comes, help. Why do you want to hurt anyone? But it's not easy to practice. Love all. It's so easy. Love all. Whoever comes and meets you, why don't you pour all the love and affection to that person? But that's also not easy. And doing good or being good, is it tough? I don't think so, it's tough. But in this world, it's tough. So all these three messages, simple messages of Swami, is a takeaway for me after my journey with Swami from 1997 till date. So I'm so glad when Dr. Narendranath this morning mentioned about a place in Kazakhstan. There is a Sairam city, there is a Sairam river, there is a Sairam mountain. And that was itself a huge surprise to me. But more than that, what really inspired me is the service of the Sai volunteers. In spite of being the month of Ramzan, he told that the temperature was more than 43, 45 degrees temperature. And I know, because I played some matches in 40 degrees temperature, I know how tough it is to be out there in the hot sun. And they didn't require to even fast. But in spite of all those challenges, they were able to accomplish their mission. And we'll be fooling ourselves if we think that it's because of their physical capabilities or mental strength that they were able to do that. No. There is a power behind that. And that power is Swami. And because of that power, Swami makes sure that none of his devotees are incapable of overcoming any challenges or any obstacle. He finds a path. Now I am surprised, and that's what I asked to Dr. Narendranath, is Swami has never ever visited any foreign countries, except probably, I believe, Uganda in late 60s. But I am surprised how so many people from so many countries know about Baba. I have experienced Baba even before knowing who Baba is, and they come to Puttaparthi just to have a glimpse. And some of them stay back. They come for 1 or 2 days, they stay back for a month, for a year, and they become a staunch follower of Baba. My sister from Russia who just spoke, how does she know about Baba? And her experience says that Baba is omnipresent. And Baba has got an unfathomable spirit and energy to draw all like-minded people. And as my brother, he told that we are all his instruments. So I think all of you should be very, very proud that you are instruments of Baba. And you are passing on the message, 3 simple messages of Baba. Throughout your life, you got the responsibility. Throughout your life, you got an opportunity to become leaders, to become messengers of Swami. Because leaders are a rare commodity in this world. People tell that fuel or water is a rare commodity. No. For me, leaders are rare commodity. And for me, there is no better leader than Baba, than Swami. Because what does a leader do? The leader makes sure that everyone is very, very comfortable. Now, a leader, he gave probably one of the best school in the country. This afternoon, I was very fortunate to talk to some of the lovely children who study in the school just behind us. And when you see the spark in their eyes, I told them they are the chosen one, they are the blessed ones. So Baba focused on education because he knew education is the tool and it is the foundation for the future of any child, any citizen. Number two, medical. Now, when you see the hospital, when we see the hospital in Puttaparthi, when we see the hospital in Bangalore, yesterday I was coming from Hyderabad and the driver asked me, Saab, ye kya hai? Ye palace hai kya? He's telling, is this a palace on the right hand side? And Baba, it's not only about the infrastructure, Baba created unbelievable, skillful doctors who come from all over the world to treat the needy patients. Lastly, the water problem, which the district of Anantapur had, where it was probably the most challenging problem, where even a government was not able to do anything. And Baba, Swami, got abundance of water to that place. And this is what Swami has done, and this is where Swami inspired me throughout my life. And I believe that all of you are very lucky, and all of you please continue to do what you're doing, which is spreading the messages of Baba, which is serving the needy. And in doing that, you will really feel the presence of Swami and feel the presence of the Almighty. Thank you very much. Sai Ram.